Hi everyone. Today I want to answer a question that clients brought up to me and have in the past. And the question is, should I lower the rent that I'm asking if my property seems to be not renting quickly and it's going to go into vacancy mode, or should I keep it vacant for a month or two? Usually always the answer I would say is lower the rent price. It's very hard to make up the money that you lose by vacancy. There's a few caveats to that. So you have to ask yourself, have you done a good job in listing it and marketing it, or is the problem that it hasn't rented yet your schedule and your attention to the matter? And if that's the case, then maybe missing a month's rent and working on getting a price in rent that you wanted is worth it, because you can readjust, retune the whole finding of a tenant and doing the right steps and get it rented for the price you feel it's worth. However, if you feel you've done a really good job, you've posted in all the right places, you've done as much as you can to make it appealing online, and you're not, and even if you're getting showings and then you're not getting tenants that want to become tenants or prospects that want to become tenants, then if that's the case, have a month vacancy reset and get it done properly. But if you've done everything correctly, especially if you're showing it to people and they're not filling out an application, my suggestion is change the rent. Because really simply, it's really hard over a year or two to catch up 1 or 2 months missed rent when it only needed a $100 adjustment on the price of the rent in order to get it filled. There are variables as well. You have to remember there's certain jurisdictions in Canada where the Tenancy Act allows you to sign a 1-year lease, and at the end of that year lease you can renegotiate with the tenant, and if you and the tenant cannot agree, then they will have to move out and you find a new tenant and you could raise the rent at that time. Or if you're in BC, you can't do that. You can't actually ask a tenant to leave simply because you want a new tenant at a higher price at the end of a fixed term. So keeping that in mind, you want to make sure that you're getting a good rent. You don't want to underprice it because it's really hard to catch it up. And the other thing to consider is make sure that you are increasing the rent annually, because landlords who don't raise the rent annually, 5-6 years of inflation can make a huge impact on where the revenue used to generate profit to no longer being as profitable. And it makes it a lot more difficult to sell it if your rent is substantially below market rent years down the road. I'll talk a little bit about that in another video message. And if you have any questions about real estate investing, about living with tenants, working with tenants, and getting started moving forward for another investment property or your first investment property, reach out to me, and I'd always love to have a conversation, see if I can help you.